Hello everyone, Rina Orellana here, and it's been a while since I've been here live, and so I'm back. I'm back and I want to reach out to you and talk to you and answer your questions. So a little bit about me and about what is happening here in this online flamenco studio free community group. So again, my name is Rina Orellana, and I've been dancing flamenco for over 20 years, maybe close to 25. Give or take a year in there, between 20 and 25 years. And I've been a teacher as well for like over 15 years, maybe about 18 years or so. And I'm in Los Angeles. And I've been, I was trained in Madrid. Actually, I originally started dancing in San Francisco, where I was born and raised. And then I moved to Madrid, trained hardcore over there for about a year or so. And then I relocated to LA, where I've been ever since. And so I've been, I teach out of my studio. Well, I used to teach out of my studio. This whole COVID thing just kind of changed everything. And there I trained dancers for, from brand new beginners all the way to advanced dancers. And then I put on a bunch of flamenco shows for my students as well. And then for the last 5.5 years, I've had the online flamenco studio. So I've been teaching online before COVID. Before you had to. And so it's, and we know that flamenco is such a community experience, right? So there's nothing that can replicate being inside the dance studio with your teacher, with your other compañeras. I get that. But it has been a wonderful journey of that. My whole methodology within the online flamenco studio, it works. OMG, because, I've just seen, I've hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women have gone through there, and so many come out saying, I have to brag on myself, that it's the best thing ever, just because, because of my methodology. And I'm going to get to your questions very momentarily. I just want to talk a little bit more about this. My whole thing is that flamenco, it's not just learning a bunch of steps. And if you've taken flamenco classes before, or if you are a flamenca, you know this already. So I'm preaching to the choir here. But the idea is that it's not just learning a bunch of steps and just and doing it, right? It's like learning a language. Or learning a musical instrument. There's like structures. There's if learning a language, there's like the alphabet you have to learning how to conjugate, all that stuff. And with flamenco, it's the same thing. And I really like to think of it as like it's a whole mind, body, soul experience. And we know that intuitively because like when you see flamenco, it's just like it grabs you, right? And it just like it stirs something inside you. And so of course it's a whole body experience. And when I say that it's a mind, body, soul experience of learning and expression, I mean, one, for the mind, the way I like to break it down, because I love breaking things down into bite-sized pieces so you can understand it. When I say the mind, I mean it's kind of like the learning the academic stuff, right? Learning all the palos, kind of learning the compás, learning the structure. And then the body, of course, is like very, very straightforward of just like actually learning the technique, learning how to turn, all the footwork, all the hands, all the marcaje, all that. So you have the mind, which is learning all the intellectual stuff of like learning the palos, the structure, the compás. The body is learning all the dance moves, right? And then the soul. The soul is where, where that personal expression comes from, where you have that courage to step up and be seen, where you have to tap into that courage to step up and be seen because, when you watch a flamenco dancer, it's all about, them expressing themselves and you feeling that. Right? And so you as a student or even if you are a professional dancer, it's so much that you have to have that courage. You have to feel that confidence that you have something worth expressing. And, and some people I know, like from the very beginning, they understand that completely. And others are hoping to discover that. And this reminds me of many years ago. I was giving a workshop. And in my previous life, I used to be a belly dancer. And so this was actually a flamenco workshop for belly dancers. And it was just like a talking part of the workshop. And I was talking about like how I felt I always had something to express with my dance. That was like my go-to. Like I was, I wouldn't say shy, maybe a little introverted, but at least with dancing, I was able to express myself confidently. And then this one woman asked me, well, what if you don't have that confidence, to get up and dance, and you don't feel that you have that, that need to express, but you still want to? And back then I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. But, that was like many years ago. So I'm older and wiser now. And this is what I would have said. Hindsight is like amazing. I would have said, like, you have to, like, if you feel that you don't have that courage, or like you don't have that confidence, okay, you don't have that confidence, you have to find a little bit of courage to start. You don't have to get that little bit of courage to, go all balls out, but you have to get that one little piece of courage to do the next step. Like if you want, and also you want to imagine yourself, well, what if I had that confidence? What if I was able to express myself completely and fully in this dance form? What would it look like, right? How would I feel? And so that's like one little, it should be, make the whole process less intimidating. Because, there's always going to be someone out there that, in the classes, in the studio, on stage, whatever, that has like, amazing confidence. And like you go up next to her and you're like, oh, I suck. So you have to find that little piece, you have to find something, right? And so I like to say that, we all have something amazing to express, right? We all have something amazing to express through this wonderful dance form. And so you all are deserving to be able to do that. And you have to allow yourself for that journey to gain that confidence so that you can express yourself. And so it's like there's like two roads, two roads that to go. You have the technique, the actual dance training, right? And then, three roads. You have that dance training, the technique, putting your time in the dance studio, pounding out your footwork on the dance floor, really working on all that stuff. And then another thing would be like working on that compás. Like if you understand that compás, you have that heartbeat of flamenco, that also leads to the confidence. And so, so the third thing, so you have like the technique, the compás within, and just like that courage to start on the next step. So if you are a beginner, it can just be something as simple as like, I want to be able to hear that 12. And if I can feel confident about hearing that 12, then I can feel confident about, doing the next step of, actually maybe dancing a little bit more. And so it really comes down to that personal confidence, and you have to find out, being happy where you are. Like if you're a beginner, be happy being a beginner. If you're intermediate, you're happy there. If you're professional, ole tu. But still, there's always going to be that next level, or how do they say, new level, new devil. So like, okay, you understand compás, you got that 12 count, but now you don't really understand like, well, what are the different rhythms? What are the different palos, right? Or, you understand the palos and the rhythms, but how do I, communicate with musicians, right? So there's always something, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful, because if you knew everything, then, you might as well be dead. There's nothing to work for. So I just wanted to share that with you. So like the three main things that I want you to remember, no matter what level you are in flamenco, is that, you know, that it is a mind, body, soul experience. That the mind would be like learning the academic stuff of the different palos, the different structure of flamenco. And then the body would be like, you need to, you know, put in the time. You need to put in the time. And then the soul is like, you know, having that courage to stand up and be seen and to allow yourself to express yourself, right? So that is what I have to say. All right, so I'm going to answer some questions here that I have written on the side. And let's see. Sandrine says, I'm in late for the tientos. I have a lot of difficulty for the fast would be the step. Sorry. Keep trying. And okay, now this is like more on technique. You cannot do any footwork fast until you can nail it slow. And when I say nail it slow, that means that you understand the compás, you understand the actual step, and that you can put the accents where they need to go. And that you understand. So just for example, for the subida step, you know, the soniquete would be, so if it's tientos would be in 4, the soniquete, you understand the sound. So, baka, ka, 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 taka, ka, 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 taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, 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 taka, ka, 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 taka, ka, taka, ta, taka, ka, tan. So that you understand that, ta, 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 ta. If you can do it slow, taka, ka, 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 taka, ka, 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 taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, then you can go fast. So that is what I say to you, Sandrine. All right, any others? Okay, all right. If you have any questions, type them in and I'll be happy to answer. But here is what else I want to do is I'm going to answer these questions that I have here. People talking about their _1 challenge, and then we're going to do one little exercise for Palmas, okay? All right, so gotta put my glasses on. Okay. Well, maybe this may have been answered already. Okay, my next level. Okay. My next level is to be able to truly feel and understand the 12 beats to enable independent spontaneity and sociability and really enjoy being part of the flamenco world. Although I know it's practice to reach confidence, I've reached a point where I've hit the wall and don't seem to be working through it. Maybe I need more patience to plod on. All right. So the idea would be understanding the 12 count, so that you can reach the spontaneity and sociability and being part of the flamenco world. Okay, so I would say to that, it's not just learning the 12 count that would help you, you know, for spontaneity, right? Spontaneity will come after you understand the structure and you understand the 12 count and you have some actual movement in your dance vocabulary. So spontaneity, so it seems like if you do not understand the 12 count, you're more of a beginner. Spontaneity will come when you're more like an intermediate or advanced dancer. So it's just more like you're just not there yet for your journey for spontaneity, right? I would say like, you know, the 12 count would be like learning the compás, and you'll get there. And it's just through repetition, very boring repetition, more exposure, where you start studying, you know, that solo compás. And we're going to actually do this afterwards. But I think that the confidence would come when you celebrate those little wins. Like, you know, can you listen to a piece of music or even like a solo compás recording and be able to play palmas along with it? Ole, you did it. Yeah. The next level would be, you know, can you hear a piece of solo compás music with guitar and be able to play palmas along with it? Yeah? Okay. And then the next one level would be like, can you hear a different piece of music in that same rhythm and be able to hear where that 12 is. And that would be like more challenging, because like when it's a real piece of music, you know, there's all kinds of different elements, and the compás, like a driving beat, might not be so apparent. So there's different levels. But just with that, I would say, you know, kind of be happy where you are, enjoy the journey, and celebrate your wins. Okay. All right. Next one. So there's, let's see, how many? Just this one and one more. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. So I feel self-conscious about expressing myself, and so it is hard to look the part of a passionate flamenco dancer. I want to learn how to move my arms and body very elegantly and expressively, and for my facial expressions to help tell the story of the dance. That is very challenging to me. Yes. Okay. Okay. So first off, like, just, you want to think of it more of like, you don't want to look the part of a passionate flamenco dancer. You want to be that flamenco, that passionate flamenco dancer. So that's going to come through your, you know, little mindset shift of, you know, like you say, you're self-conscious about expressing yourself. That's when you have to do that work of you know, finding that courage and being confident in whatever move that you actually know how to do, right? And this is like for beginners, intermediate, advanced, all of it. And I understand that it's different, like if you're in a performance situation, but still in class, it's one wonderful way to practice the skill of like losing that self-consciousness about expressing yourself. You want to be able to, you know, find opportunities where you can express yourself. And so one exercise that I love doing, and it's really silly, but I really think that it's, I think it's profound. Actually, it's a two-parter, and so I'm not going to stand up to do it. But when you're in the dance studio, like you can just take a moment and just like kind of like you can just do this like 10 seconds, but it's going to take me longer right now. One exercise is that you take a moment, close your eyes if you can, and just really feel the roots, digging deep into that earth. And then, just like a syringe, you bring up that energy into your body, and you feel the energy from the earth just like coming in, and you just absorb that energy. So you like first like you feel your roots going deep down, and then like the roots of a tree just soak in that water, right? And you don't have to go like that. But, you know, I do that exercise a lot right before I perform, like right before I go on stage or anything like that. If I'm in the cuadro and I need to get up, I'm just sitting there, you know, as that singer starts the quejillo, I feel myself ground and draw on that energy. So try that. You can do that in dance class, before your practice, before, you know, brushing your teeth, right? And then the next one is that trying to lose that self-consciousness is right before you're going to dance. If you're in the dance studio, or if you're at home, if you have a home studio, and if you're lucky enough to have a mirror, is that you look at yourself in the eyes. Like you look at yourself, you make contact with yourself in the eyes, and just making that eye contact of just like, here I am, I'm ready. You know, just making that eye contact, because if you can look at yourself in the eyes, other people can look at you too. Like if you can't look at yourself in the eyes because you're like too busy looking at being judgmental of yourself, everyone's going to be the same way. So it just helps in developing. You have to develop that muscle. You have to develop that muscle for courage and confidence. So you can't, you know, some people get it. They got it immediately. God bless them. But others, like many of us, we have to work at it a little bit more. So again, you know, celebrate your wins, do whatever you can to feel grounded, like that lovely exercise, and being able to look at yourself in the eyes before you dance, and just kind of think to yourself like, I'm ready. I can do this. I deserve to express myself, and I enjoy the process. Okay, I hope that helps. All right, let me see. I have one more here, and then I'll answer your question, Lily. All right. Oof, this is so good. Okay. My biggest challenge is pushing past stereotypes of age and dancing, as I've not had the opportunity to learn till later in life. I have always loved dance and dancing, any kind of dance, and feel most myself when engaged with dancing. New classes. I never dreamed I could learn flamenco, as I thought of myself being too old, but my teacher is so positive and doesn't see age. Rather, she just sees people who love flamenco and are willing to work. Ole. I love that. So yes, with flamenco, you know, it's one of those dance forms that, you know, the older you get, the more you can bring to the dance. And of course, like there's all the youngins that can do like crazy stuff, crazy footwork, and it's wonderful, right? But then you have like an experienced dancer who can just like really truly be able to just to hold a movement with, and it has like that life experience behind the movement, and you can just feel like that more intense energy coming out, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, it's just moving. So flamenco is such a blessing for that. So it's easy to judge ourselves, right? And especially in our culture here, against all the young peoples. But you know, we want to encourage those young people to grow up and be strong dancers, and you know, so they can grow old to a ripe age and teach the next generation. But for all us women, as we age, we want to keep with it, because we know that, you know, the older we get, the better we get. But, you know, don't fool yourself. You gotta be able to train, though. You still got to take care of your body, and you know, and if you really are going to dance, that you actually, you know, put in the effort to learn it, right? Meaning, like, just exactly as if you were going to learn a new language. You know, you don't go. You don't start making up words and with a French accent and call it that you're speaking French, right? So it's the same thing with flamenco. No matter what age you are, you got to learn it, and it's systematic, and it might take you longer or sooner or later, but you enjoy the process, right? But the cool thing with, you know, the older ladies, they got it going on. All right, let me see what we have here. Lily, I feel I danced better when I knew less theory. Oh, that's interesting. Now I don't like what I see in the mirror. I'm so focused on doing the right thing that my body is stuck. I dance like a broom. I'm getting better on footwork and losing the elegance. Any suggestion? Okay. Yes. And I'm trying to think. Because the theory, all right, so the idea is, the thing with theory is that it's supposed to help you and free you because you understand what's going on. Meaning, like, you know, the structure of the dance, or so you understand the palo, right? The rhythm, and you understand the structure. And those are the things that I talk about when I think of flamenco theory. I think of, like, you know, what is the palo? What is the structure? And for the palo, it's important to understand, like, okay, I am dancing alegrías. The aire, the attitude of alegrías, is going to be happy. So I'm not going to do my flamenco face. You're going to be happy, right? And whereas, you know, soleá, that's going to be profound. And you want to be able to, you know, dig in deep for that movement. So it's that kind of theory is very useful, of knowing what you are dancing and trying to tap into that energy. And then understanding the structure is like huge, because if you are learning someone else's choreography, it helps you kind of it helps you learn it, right? But it's, I mean, that's the structure is like all important. So I can go into a tablao and improvise in alegrias with a whole new group of musicians, because I know the structure, they know the structure, we all know what's going on, and all of it does not need to be said. So what the structure is, like generally, you know, like at the most basic level, we have, what do we have? A letra, which is a singing verse. There may be a falseta, which would be a guitar solo. There's going to be an escobilla, which is that footwork section, and then it's going to end in some sort of macho, meaning the faster rhythm. So if it's in tientos, it'll go to tangos. If it's solea, it'll go to buleria. If it's sigueria, it will end in the macho. Right? So those are like the basic things. And then, you know, then to break it down even more, you know, we have an entrada, which is an entrance where the singer's like, the dancer's going to come out and do some sort of llamada to call the singer to sing. The dancer's going to dance the letra, and so on and so forth. And then the next layer of that is to understand like the actual structure of a letra that you are dancing. Just say, for example, alegrias. Just knowing like, you know, where are those peaks and those valleys on where you're going to just do some marcaje, simple marking, or when are you going to like resolve, like do some sort of remate or cierre, like some sort of break or closing it, right? So, okay, so theory is important in that sense. And, you know, if you're more of a beginner, you know, you learn just a little bit. If you're more, you know, more intermediate, advanced, then you start learning a little bit more as you go. But but when you say on focusing, okay, that you don't like what you see in the mirror, and focusing on doing the right thing, your body is stuck. It depends. Like, I think, well, it's a mindset thing, right? That you. Here's one thing. What? How would I do this? I would say that you, okay, be a little slightly dispassionate about this. Okay, and this is what I actually do with myself a lot. Record yourself. Okay, so if you know like what you are dancing, just say it is an alegrías. Okay, this is gonna be my llamada. This is the letra. Right? You record yourself, and you know, and then you can get nitpicky, like, oh, I kind of, you know, I feel like I'm going like a really strong accent, but it actually goes eh. So, you know, then you can start practicing, like, well, what is that one movement that I want to see myself doing on video, right? Like getting those strong accents. So, if anything, and I hope this helps, I would say the next time you're dancing in front of the mirror, maybe not focus so much on, you know, whatever theory, right? But focus on how can you accent with your body sharply and more. And so that would be, you just say if it's a 12 count, you're, you know, accenting on 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. So that would be, you know, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, you know, just for example, just being able to, like, what can you do in your body that will accent on those strong counts, okay? Let's see. Oh, yes, good idea to record yourself. Yes, record yourself. And for sure, I do that all the time. And, you know, in the beginning years, it's just like, it's awful to watch yourself. I get it. It's just like, we're so judgmental. But you know, you just want to first off, you want to see like, okay, what am I doing good? I'm in compás, ole. I remembered my footwork, ole, right? So remember, like, you know, what are you doing that is good, right? Do that. And then you can see, you know, how do I want to improve? How do I want to improve of, like, you know, with a stronger accent, where I think I'm like looking all, you know, really strong moves, but I'm not. What can I do to fix that move? And just be dispassionate about it. And then, like, you know, next time you practice it, you'll see little improvements. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a quick palmas. Quick palmas here. We're going to try some contratiempo, counter time. All right, so if you are new to flamenco, we're going to do on the beat, and then if you're a little bit more advanced, we're going to do the counter time off the beat. All right, so we know that the accents would be 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, right? But then, and the way you learn, oops, sorry, wrong one. And the way you learn palmas, the counter time is understanding the sound. So if you're how do I want to say it? Like in my head, I'm going taka ka ka taka ka ka taka ka taka ka taka ka taka ka ka taka ka ka taka. I need the downbeat on also. But let me show you this. Okay. And I find the solo compás stuff, Spotify, YouTube, just type it in. So this is going to be solo compás, but at 100 beats per minute, and just the sound machine, not the sound machine, the drum machine. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, taka tan, taka tan. So on the beat, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Now, I am also tapping my foot on the 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. So that helps me. And actually, let me stand up so you can see me tapping my foot. Okay, so weird angle, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going like this so I'm going 12, okay, so 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Now, if I do the counter time, I'm still doing this with my feet, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. And now it will help with taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka. All right, so let me put on this solo compás here. So on the beat first. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Now counter time. Taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka, ga, taka. Now, if that's too hard for you, start off with the first part of this. 7, 8, 9, 10, and da, ga, 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 da. Try that. 7, 8, 9, 10, and da, ga, 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10, and da, ga, 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 da, ga, 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and da ga 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 da ga 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 da ga ga da ga da. One compás out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and da ga yo. All right, so now let's try this with solo compás, but with a guitar. Because when you hear the guitar, it's so much easier because you hear the melody, and knowing the melody, you begin to understand, you know, where the accents are. All right, here we go. So 12, 1, 2. On the beat, 6, 8, 10, 12, 3, 6, 8. So here we go. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And da 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10. And da 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10. And da 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 da. Okay, keep going. Now we're gonna go. Da 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 da. 8, 9, 10. Da 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 da. 8, 9, 10. Da 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 da. 8, 9. Now let's go all the way. Da 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10, and da 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 da. 7, 8, 9, 10. Da 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 da. And there you go. Instant palmas. And Ana Maria, oh, thank you so much. Thank you all for joining me. And if you just kind of joined in late, then yeah, it is challenging for sure. So just one bit at a time. So if you missed everything, if you came in late, what I talked about was like the whole mind, body, soul experience of flamenco, and you know, and what you can do to gain that confidence for self-expression, right? And then I kind of I answered a few questions on people's #1 challenges, and they were something about like self-expression. Getting older in dancing, yes. And what else? What else did I answer? Another good question. And then we had a little lesson for Palmas. Ole, ole, ole. So thank you for joining me. If you have any other questions, you know, you just type them out in the comments or, you know, inside this group, and I'll be sure to answer them. But we do, I do have these weekly Q&As with the members in my online flamenco studio in the membership area. So we do this every week. I answer your questions, I go over a little something, I offer some video feedback. So if you're interested in joining me in the online flamenco studio, please come join us. So there's, you know, lots of not only are there, you know, over 30 courses from new beginners all the way to advanced dancers. There's, you know, there's technique, choreography. I have a core program, I mean, not the core, like core, but the core program is like kind of fundamentals for all different levels. And I have lectures in there where I go over the structure of each palo, which is like super crazy important. And then we have monthly challenges to keep all the members, you know, motivated. And so right now we're in the middle of a footwork challenge, lots of footwork drills. And so what I'm telling them to do, and what they do, the members, my dancers in there, to pick one footwork drill that's inside the membership area and work on that drill so that you can see your progress. Like you go from the beginning, like you record yourself and, you know, it's maybe slow and sloppy, and then you practice it for a week, and then you record yourself again and you notice like, oh, oh, I can do it slow and clean. Let's try going a little bit faster. So we do that a lot inside the membership. So that's really a lot of fun. And then, then I have these weekly Q&As, and it's just a lovely experience. So I'll put a link here in the comment section. So come on by and check it out. But again, if you have any other questions, be sure to ask me. All right, so thank you so much for joining me, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, bellas.